Now, Minister-designate for Sanitation and Water Resources, Cecilia Abena Dapaah, says the government's promise to make Accra the cleanest city in Africa is still on course. The issue of Accra's cleanliness has become a subject of debate after President Gov't made that pledge in 2017.
On April 24, 2017, His Excellency the President of the Republic promised to make Accra the cleanest city in Africa. Almost 4 years into this promise, Honorable nominee, can we say, or can you say, that Accra today is the cleanest city in Africa?
Mr. Chairman, Accra is on course to become the cleanest city that the President gave in absolute terms. I think we are on course, looking at what we started doing and what I continue for my colleague.
Well, that was when she took her turn at the Appointments Committee today. The former Bantama MP said the government has rolled out a series of interventions, including the provision of toilet facilities to 33,000 households, among others, to achieve its target. She said this when she appeared earlier today.
Accra is on course to become the cleanest city that the President gave in absolute terms.
Oh, Patrick Apoah is joining me right now with his thoughts. He is with Apoya, beg your pardon, is with CONIWAS. CONIWAS is Coalition of NGOs in Water and Sanitation. And Ms. Apoya is joining me with his thoughts so far on the minister's responses, particularly on sanitation. Hello, Ms. Apoya.
Yes.
Ms. Apoya,
Thank you. Good evening.
Great. Good evening. It's good to have you. Now, I'd like to take your thoughts. If you would listen to us on the television and not on the phone.
Is with CONIWAS. CONIWAS is called NGO.
We're certainly having a feedback there. That's not helping us at all, but we'll try and raise him back. We're talking about the sanitation minister designate and the fact that she says government expectation to make Accra, the cleanest city in Africa, is still on course. Well, she insists that the pledge to keep Accra clean has not been lost on this administration.
Solution to our waste is to make sure we incinerate our waste, we recycle our waste, we do material recovery, and also do other. I always say that waste is wealth. It depends on how it is tackled. I have met those who do the sorting. They recover materials from there. And then those that are not easily recycled, we need to put them somewhere for the long-term incineration and make sure we recover as much as we can before that process.
Well, that's the minister talking about incineration of our waste. Hopefully that will do the trick. Well, will it? Let's get to CONIWAS. Patrick Apoah, who I've been trying to connect with earlier, is joining us on the line. Hello, Mr. Apoah. Looks like I was having a very bad feedback from your end, but hopefully it is fixed now. I want to take your thought, particularly on the minister's position on incinerating our waste. Is that what would do the trick for us, you think? If you would listen to us on the Zoom rather than on the TV, it'll be easier.
A starting point. It is not the solution. Right now, the whole world, everybody is moving from incineration to materials recovery. What we need to look at is...
If you would listen to us on the Zoom rather than on the TV, it'll be easier.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Apoah, hopefully this is cleaned up a bit more. You were telling me about the incineration idea and how you thought it wasn't really the most outstanding choice or option for us.
Actually, it is not an option for waste disposal nowadays. We should be talking about materials recovery facilities, which the ministry started very well in 2017, 2018. And despite it comes with some cost, it is a way that you can manage your waste sustainably without affecting the environment. At the same time, actually getting some resources that you can turn to wealth in as much as you are trying to dispose. So we should be moving away from incineration to materials recovery at this moment of our development.
To what extent would you say CONIWAS has been in engagement with the ministry, for especially on the basis of that promise made to us in 2017? Has there been frequent engagement that could have helped us performed better?
Yes, I will admit that there has been some significant engagement with the ministry. The tanker department, the tanker directorates have had open doors to the coalition. And the coalition also initiates programs that they invite them to come and give explanation, which they honor. It is just a question of getting the building blocks in place. The ministry has not yet been able to put up all the building blocks that are required to actually drive the president's agenda of a clean Accra to the next level. Okay. Their basic constraint is the budget that they get. You cannot achieve anything from the national budget. The budget as it comes is very inadequate for them. The Minister of Finance doesn't seem to be listening to them. And unless we get the National Sanitation Authority in place and the National Sanitation Fund in place to give them the dedicated budget and to get a broader mobilization of all stakeholders as enshrined in the Interministerial Committee on Sanitation, we will not be able to deliver on the President's promise to make Accra the cleanest city in Africa.
On that score, how do you assess our ability to achieve this? We've obviously gone beyond the 2020 targets that the President perhaps had, but on the score of all that you have said, how do you assess our ability to achieve it going forward?
There is 100% possibility that it can be achieved, but assessing where we are right now, I would say it's not addressed.
And so, finally, what would you say we need, apart from the incineration bits which you have addressed, going forward, what are the things that we need?
The biggest challenge is attitudinal change, and the attitudinal aspects, a lot of people always refer to Rwanda, which is a shining example in Africa. And if you ask anyone in Rwanda, they'll tell you the single biggest intervention that their government brought to bear was the attitudinal aspect. The way we as individuals of Ghana, citizens of Ghana behave, how we actually become disciplined when it comes to handling our waste. That is one. The second part is the institutions that are supposed to be responsible for sanitation, they are just underdeveloped. The municipal assemblies are not equipped. We heard about the lack of cesspit MTS in more than 80% of our districts. In Accra itself, there are a lot of gaps when it comes to the demand for septic MTS and what is actually available. So unless we're able to equip our private operators to be able to handle the waste, assemblies, then the materials recovery centers where we can dispose of our waste safely and dealing with the attitudes, we cannot make it. And that's why if we put everything together, we need a very exceptional commitment from government, from other stakeholders, and from the citizenry to be able to achieve this laudable dream of government.
Well, hopefully in the next 4 years or so, we will be able to rally ourselves together and get it done. Mr. Apaah, thank you so much for your time this evening. He is with CONIWAS, that's a coalition of NGOs in water and sanitation.